What books am I planning to read for August? Stay tuned and find out. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got my August TBR. Danielle's holding Mav, so if you hear any squeaks or squawks from him, it's whatever. We love a Mavy squawk. So I've got my August TBR next to me. I've got 6 books. We will link the 6 of these down below if any of these intrigue you. Down below we also have got the Patreon, Danielle's channel, and all that other fun stuff. And the Bookstagram is also down there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into the first book. Speaking of Patreon, the first book I'm going to talk about is our book club pick for August, the Dead is Better book club. And that is The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. I know it would be expected to pick kind of like more like a horror book with this, but Danielle and I both read The Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham Grant, and I'm pretty sure we both gave it 5 stars, and it was both our top 5 books of 2022. I think that's when it came out. Might have been 2021. Honestly, it's been a while since I have read that book. So this one, again, it's one of those ones where I don't want to know a whole lot going in, but the blurb on the top says, Emmeline doesn't let herself think about the past. Poignant, suspenseful, and unforgettable, The Nature of Disappearing explores what it takes to start over and the cost of letting the past pull you back in. So I'm very excited to read this one. Like I said, Danielle and I absolutely loved The Silent Woods, so we're excited to see what happens with this one. Again, the Dead is Better book club pick of August is The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. Again, down below is the Patreon if you want to help support the channel and join us on our journey with this book. So there you have it. Alright, the next book I'm going to talk about is I Found a Lost Hallway in a Dying Mall by Ben Farthing. So this guy has... Okay, so I was on Facebook a while ago and I kept seeing this book called I Found Puppets Living in My Halls or something like that, or Living in My Apartment. I kept seeing it all over the place, and so I decided to read that book. I discovered that he has other books out. This is the I Found horror series that he has, and there was I Found a circus tent in my backyard, and then there was I Found Christmas lights slithering down the street or something like that. And this is his 4th book in the series, I Found a Lost Hallway in a Dying Mall. I have loved all of this series so far, and this is a new author for me. I've never read Ben Farthing before, and I gotta say, the puppet one was absolutely terrifying, and I gave that 5 stars, and I'm excited to get to these because this whole series so far has just been like a banger for me. And I know I used to have, what was his name? Keelan Patrick Burke was like my short story like guy, and like these are really good. So if you have not read Ben Farthing, I would highly recommend it because honestly, it's a surprise author, and it's like really good. I know he has other stuff out, and I have not looked into any of those yet, but the I Found horror series has been great. So, again, I don't want to know really much about what's in this, but the blurb says, in a dying mall, Lisa hears a cry for help. There's a couple little short paragraphs, but I honestly went in all the other ones blind, and I would like to keep that streak going with this. So, there you have Ben Farthing with I Found a Lost Hallway in a Dying Mall. Alright, next up is Children of the Night by Dan Simmons. So this is the sequel to Summer of Night, which was, in my most recent video, my top books of 2024 so far. And Summer of Night was an absolute masterpiece. So here's my conundrum. Children of Night is listed, I think, chronologically as book number 2. However, everyone says that I should read A Winter Haunting second, because that stays in the town of Elm Haven, and it follows, this one I think has got, I think this was Mike. Mike is the one who's, yeah, Mike O'Rourke. He's the one who's in this book. I think the other one is Dave. Dave, I think, is the main person in the Winter Haunting. And then there's another one called The Fires of Eden, and I think that one actually has the girl who joined the group in Summer of Night. Regardless, this one I think is a vampire story, and it's the author of Summer of Night. So I mean, I don't think I've read anything else by Dan Simmons. I did start The Terror, and I didn't get through it. Not like I DNF'd it, I just kind of put it down. I've never picked it back up, and I really, really need to. So, but yeah, Children of the Night is definitely one I need to get to. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should I read this one second, or should it be A Winter Haunting? Because I have that one too, but I don't know which one I'm supposed to technically read second. People online said read A Winter Haunting second, but then, you know, on like Goodreads, I think chronologically it says this is the second book. So I don't know which way to go. I don't know if it really makes a difference or not. But let me know in the comments if I should be doing A Winter Haunting or if I should be doing Children of the Night. So, but anyway, TBR, Children of the Night, Dan Simmons. Alright, next up is If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finlay. This dude is... This has been a lot of like really good stuff that he has written that I have absolutely loved. The Night Shift was a really good book. There's a couple other ones that I'm just forgetting right now, but a lot of the stuff that Alex Finlay has written I have really liked, but for some reason I just can't remember any of the other titles except for Night Shift. So, but I'm very excited to get to this just because it's Alex Finlay. And like I keep saying, I've read his stuff and I like what he's written. There is a blurb on the bottom and it says, in classic Alex Finlay form, If Something Happens to Me is told by several distinct, compelling characters whose paths intersect, detonating into a story with twist after pulse-pounding twist. The novel cements Finlay as one of the leading thriller writers today. So I'm excited. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say. It's a thriller book and it's Alex Finlay. Nothing else I really need to say about it. So, there you have If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finlay. Alright, next up is another mystery slash like thriller author that I have absolutely loved. Pretty much everything he has written, maybe the exception of the one I DNF, The House Across the Lake. That being said, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I have loved just about everything Riley Sager has written. Final Girls is my lowest ranked. I think I gave that like 2 stars, and then The House Across the Lake, I actually DNF'd that book. Everything else has been absolutely phenomenal. I think, I could be wrong, the last book that he wrote was I think it was the one last year, the Only One Left, or The Last One Left, or something like that. The Only One Left, yes. And I absolutely love that book, and I absolutely love, yeah, there's his book stuff here. Final Girls, The Last Time I Lied, Lock Every Door, which is a really good one. Home Before Dark, like that one. Survive the Night, good one. So, I mean, there's a lot of good books that he's written, and I've loved most of them. So, this one, I hope I love it as well. And this one says, in the latest jaw-dropping thriller from New York Times bestselling author Riley Sager, a man must contend with the long ago disappearance of his childhood best friend, and the dark secrets lurking just beyond the safe confines of his picture-perfect neighborhood. There's nothing else I can really say. Riley Sager has been one of my favorite authors that I have discovered and have started reading, and I can't wait to get to this book. If you've read this one already, I know this came out a little while ago. Let me know your thoughts, spoiler free please, so I can read this with no issues. I just need to get my Book of the Month edition to go with all the other Riley Sager Book of the Months I have. So, yeah, there you have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Alright, next up is, last up I should say, is my King Pick of the Month. As you guys might know, I've finished all of Stephen King's fictional I have finished all of Stephen King's bibliography in fictional form, and I'm so excited that I'm finally done with reading everything. Now I'm going back and rereading everything. So once a month, I would like to try and reread a book. I'm trying to do more than just one, but with Mav kind of getting a little bit older, his sleeping stuff is changing, a lot of things are changing with him, and so it's just kind of been keeping up with him and work and everything, so reading has kind of gotten away from me a little bit in the past little while, as you guys have seen. But we're picking it back up, and the book I'm planning to reread for this month is The Green Mile. This is a book that I absolutely loved the first time I read it. I technically have read this twice. I read it when I was in high school, and I remember liking it back then, but I absolutely remember loving it when I read it 2 years ago. I think it's been 2 years since I read this book. Regardless, it was an absolutely phenomenal story, and I loved every second of it. So this one, we are reading a book set in the 1930s about a prison, and basically it's that like prison block's like journey with meeting all these different kind of people. There's Wild Bill, who is absolutely a... There's two people in this book I hate the most. There's Wild Bill, and then there's somebody who works there that's a prison guard named Percy. Percy sucks. I absolutely hated Percy. But Paul Edgecombe, who is like the main person who's in charge of the block, is, I think it's Block C. Might be Block E. I think it's Block C. Regardless, we're following this group of, prison guards, and, the people the people who come on the Green Mile, when you walk the Green Mile, they go to Old Sparky, who's an electric chair. It's basically death row, and we meet probably one of the best characters King has written in John Coffey, and he is one of my favorite characters that he has written probably ever. So John Coffey's got this really cool ability, and I'm so excited to get back into this book and read it, because I think out of my all-time Stephen King list, which if you have not seen that video, check it out up here. I rank every book that I have read so far, or well, I've read, because I've read all this fictional stuff. I think this one is like number 5 or number 6 on my all-time list, and out of my top 10, this is like the only one I have not reread. Well, 11/22/63 I haven't reread, but that's a daunting task. But I absolutely love that book, so it'll be fun. So The Green Mile is the King book I have selected for August, so very excited to get to it. There you have The Green Mile by Stephen King. Alright, so that is my August TBR. If you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts down below. Keep it spoiler free, please. What are you planning to read for the month of August? Also let me know down below. Again, The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant is going to be the book club pick for August for our Patreon channel. I know we missed the last month. Again, like I mentioned, a lot of things have been going on with Mav, with him getting older. He's coming up on being 1 soon. Like, oh my goodness, he's already almost 1. Time flies. But yeah, we're gonna do better this month with getting that book club pick read and vlogged for you guys on the Patreon channel. So if you're not a member, make sure you sign up for it so we can discuss this book with you guys. So, but yeah, otherwise don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.